With over 1.4 billion people making India the most populated country in the world, how is it that the car market is so appalling? As the title suggests, this is the curious case of the Indian car market. According to the 2021 National Family Health Survey, barely 8% of households own cars. Surprising, right? Hardly. Given the economic state of the country, what more could be expected? Several factors play a role, including literacy and employment rates, minimum wage, currency exchange rates, and most importantly, taxes. Rest assured, this is not going to be an economic lecture. We will be strictly sticking to the subject. India, being an import-heavy country, started to import cars from the 1930s. Though in small numbers, they could be spotted on the roads. Also, the presence of classic models like the Chevy Bel Air and the Jaguar E-Type in Indian cinema drew well-deserved praise for their iconic designs, while serving as a chance for the manufacturer to attract potential customers. These cars used to be a head-turner, but today they have been largely replaced by more uniform and less distinctive designs, making it all look alike and boring. The Indian car market dates all the way back to the year 1942 with the establishment of Hindustan Motors, which began producing Morris cars. This was followed by Premier, established in 1944, which manufactured Chrysler products like Dodge, Plymouth, and Fiat. The cars launched by both the companies were technically the rebadged versions of foreign cars, which laid the foundation of India's automotive industry. Later, Mahindra & Mahindra and Tata entered the market. In 1983, Maruti launched its first car, the 800, which became an instant hit amongst the people. But the car market did not gain traction until the introduction of economic reforms in 1991, which introduced liberalization, privatization, and globalization. The policy allowed global manufacturers to penetrate the Indian market as they saw huge potential in the country given the population at that time. As a result, many international car makers entered India through joint ventures with existing companies, while others went all in. Ford teamed up with Mahindra & Mahindra to launch the Escort sedan in 1995. The German sedan Opel Astra was introduced through a joint venture with the Billa Group. In 1998, the market saw a wave of new arrivals, including the Mitsubishi Lancer, Hyundai Santro, and Honda City. The Indian roads began to fill up with global brands, but this period of rapid growth was relatively short-lived. The challenges include high taxes, poor sales, high operating cost, intense competition paired with Maruti Suzuki's dominance, which proved to be an uphill battle for the global manufacturers to climb the steep hill. Nonetheless, Maruti's success is a tale for another day. Consequently, some manufacturers had to end their partnership and leave the country altogether, while others continued to thrive. Honda became an independent company, and Hyundai remained firmly rooted in India without any joint venture. But why does the Indian car market seem to lack a distinct taste for cars? Are people to blame? Lack of judgment? Unfamiliarity with automobiles in general? I don't know, maybe all, but I'm in no position to judge. When it comes to buying cars in India, aesthetics, road presence, and features such as sunroof, ventilated seats, and other vanity features are given priority over other aspects. And if the budget is a constraint, then they choose to opt for a smaller car and compromise on the areas I just pointed out. Honestly, only a handful of people care about the performance. Given the terrible road conditions, which has been an issue for quite a while now, cars with ground clearance below 170mm, Honda City, are asking for trouble. To address that, manufacturers started designing cars that better suit these conditions. Where traditional hatchbacks or sedans struggled with the ground clearance, an SUV or crossover handled it relatively better due to increased ride height. But here's a catch. They are still not priced reasonably for an average buyer. Only a small proportion of people actually go for a proper full-fledged SUV like Skoda Kodiaq, Toyota Fortuner, and Mahindra Scorpio, to name a few. Typically, the average Indian's budget lies somewhere between 7 to 10, maybe 12 lakhs. Which brought the era of lifted hatchbacks, or more commonly referred to as compact SUVs. Nowadays, Indian roads are filled with them, making sedans and proper hatchbacks a rare sight. Take a look at the data. Paired with all of that, there is even a bigger monster which hasn't arrived yet. Emission standard bullshit 7. I love my planet, but I love my car more. Pardon me, I went a bit overboard with my emotions. My point is, emission standard paired with sub 4 meter rule is an equally bigger culprit which is responsible for the dismal state of the market. Let me break down what's really happening here. How can we expect customers to pay a premium when taxes are so high? Manufacturers in turn struggle to sell their cars because buyers are focused on budget-friendly segments. Meanwhile, consumers demand better vehicles, but manufacturers are hesitant to offer premium models due to the lack of demand. And even if the right models were available, how are customers supposed to afford them when the government takes a significant portion of your earnings in taxes? It's a vicious cycle that keeps repeating itself, and it's easy to see how all these factors are interconnected. If you ask me, there is one simple solution for it. Become a Sigma millennial and buy all the expensive cars you want.
What are your superpowers again? I'm rich.
It is that easy. Okay, jokes apart. This is a problem which would require a solution from the multiple areas, and odds of that happening are severely low. Considering India is a third world country with first world taxes. In all fairness, I want to believe there is a future where sedans will make a comeback, and for that future, Volkswagen, Skoda, Suzuki and Honda haven't discontinued their sedans just yet. Let me know your thoughts. I have been Monica. Keep your revs up, and I will see you in the next one.